wearing socks. Ayo, everyone, go and follow Paradox. Crypto scam, orange cram, peanut butter jelly jam, dirty toast.
PackGod made me famous because I said some of your roast to my bully, and I got my crush to be my girl.
PackGod just says random shit. He doesn't really roast people.
Bro, shut the frick up. I bet PackGod would kill you in a battle. That is why your dad left you.
I heard you were 5'1", bro.
PackGod, just as stated in his name, is considered to be the absolute king of roasting. He has reached the pinnacle of the sport. There is just simply no one better than him. He has mastered the dark arts of roasting. If there's someone you wanted roasted in your life, whether that be little Timmy from across the street or someone you just simply don't like online, he most likely roasted them and their entire family heritage in his sleep yesterday. He is that good.
Shut your stupid
Is what I would say if I was a brain rotted 12-year-old. But anyway, jokes aside, his entire brand, his stick, is basically just going into random Discord servers and going into voice chat and just absolutely clowning on anyone who is in there, or at least that's what it's portrayed to be. And it seems that his main ops, his main target seems to be OnlyFans models, emo girls, and furries. Like I said before, his understanding of roasting is a bit too nuanced for us mere mortals to understand, so I'm gonna try to break it down as best as I can for you. It's basically just yelling into the mic to see whoever the loudest in the room is, and if you're the loudest, congratulations, you won the roast. In his early days, his videos were seen to be as ironic, kind of like making fun of people who actually took Discord roasting seriously. You can even tell this by looking at his profile picture, the one he chose. He chose King from One Punch Man, and if you know King from One Punch Man, you know he plays himself as like this big, powerful, buffed up, chiseled dude, but in reality, he's just a bum. But as we all know, PackGod's audience is really just filled with children, and if you haven't figured that out now, I'd be very surprised. And because of that, they just hear someone blasting into the mic random things, and they really think the person that they're talking to is actually getting roasted into the ground, but in reality, it's just giving them permanent ear damage. You can even see this by like some of the people that he roasts. It's like they are like absolutely like completely blank stared. It's like they kind of like blue screen because they straight up, they just don't know what to say because they don't understand what he's saying because he is borderline incoherent in 90% of his roast. I mean, you guys can understand it, the people who actually watch his video, you can because you have very flashy editing and subtitles. They don't. They're just hearing someone just mic absolutely peaking and just spouting random nonsense. It's like, I know people have said this countless times, but if you were to watch a PackGod roast without any of like the editing or anything, it's very awkward.
I don't even know what he's saying.
One eternity later.
Guess what? You about to take yourself to find out something. You a furry. You a furry. But you went up to your friend in school and said, we all know.
But truly the strangest thing to me though, is that if I would have made these claims a few months back, I would have been viewed as a blasphemer. I would have been sent to the stakes and crucified right then and there. But now it's just all of a sudden unanimously agreed upon. And the thing is, I have had actual experience with actually not agreeing with PackGod because I thought the music video he made on Bella, it was cringe. I honestly thought it was cringe. And I said that in the most sugar-coated way in my second video on Bella the Wolf, and I still had people who didn't really agree or like that video. Alright, hearing myself again, it kind of sounds like I'm a narcissist, so I'm going to make myself a bit more clear here. What I'm trying to get at is, what could have been a rather wholesome comment section if I did not cherry pick my words extremely well, just as the comment says literally right there, clear as day, no hate because it's just your opinion. If I did not grind that in with every time I would say I thought it was mid or I didn't like it, if I did not make that point extremely clear to people, I probably would have been berated with a buttload of PackGod fans. Heck, I still got a few comments glazing PackGod. So this kind of has you like wondering the back of your head, what was the all of a sudden switch up? Like, when did the tables turn to his disfavor? Why is PackGod all of a sudden hated? Before I go on any deeper in this video, I would just have to ask you to please like and subscribe if you do enjoy this video. I put a lot of work into all my videos, so all the support is very appreciated. I ain't gonna put a Nerf gun to your head begging you to do so, but it will be very appreciated. As well as joining my Discord server. I am trying to revive that dead thing. And without the way, we can continue on. The first video that was made that had people see PackGod in a new light was a video made by Flazire that was posted February 18th, 2025 titled PackGod the Lord of Corny. For the first 10-ish minutes of this video, he's just going over what I said in the intro of this video, that PackGod's roast is just him screaming into the void, but he does it in a lot greater detail along with better editing. At the 12-minute and 19-section mark of this video, he throws a pretty bold and interesting claim that PackGod's videos could possibly be faked. I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of respect for Flazire for throwing such a bold claim at such a big creator like PackGod, but unfortunately for him in the end, it turns out that he was only half correct. But just like he said,
it's complicated. Because they're fake in the way that professional wrestling is fake, which is to say that the fight is prearranged and the moves are all scripted, and the winner is already decided. If you look in the description of any of his packing videos, you may come across a small line buried right at the bottom that says,
"This is not real bullying. This is made for entertainment purposes only."
Which is code for this video is fake. Because there are quite a few without this little disclaimer that are clearly prearranged setups.
PackGod vs. Emo Girl promoting their Instagrams. PackGod vs. Emo Girl 2 promoting their e-dating Discord. PackGod vs. Cosplaying E-Girl promoting their TikTok. Her mom walked in promoting her YouTube.
To explain why he isn't entirely correct, I'm actually going to use this same analogy, but I'm going to use the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight as an example. As we all know by now, the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight was completely fake. Mike Tyson wasn't just going in there out of the kindness of his heart to be a personal punching bag for Jake Paul just so he can say that he beat Mike Tyson. He had his own ulterior motives. He was obviously paid off by Jake Paul so that he could lose. There was something to gain from that fight from him. That's somewhat the way that PackGod's videos work. He goes up to people, he roasts them, and then afterward, he goes upload it onto YouTube. But to gain consent from the people he has roast, he has to abide by certain conditions, and one of those conditions is that he promotes the socials from the people that he roasts. So yeah, just because they plug in their own social medias in his videos, it doesn't mean that the video is fake. It just simply means that that was the condition that was held against PackGod to keep the video up. If not, he would have to take it down. The biggest example that he used of him faking videos was with the furry. And yeah, technically it was staged, but the roasting was real.
No, I've been literally, bro. I literally just looked at him and just like thought of this random shit that would make sense. But I said he looked like Clifford the Big Red Dog skeleton or some shit.
Get it from the top of your head.
Bro, this shit's funny as fuck.
And because of the sudden upsurge in hate, a certain unfavorable clip of PackGod got revived.
And I could dunk on low tier God because he's my little bitch.
I heard you were 5'1", bro.
I don't know where you got that information from, but I think you're horribly mistaken.
Somebody said he was 5'1".
And for some reason, this clip in specific really blew up, and now everyone just accepted it as fact that he's 5'1". Like, of all people, why low tier God? Like, my boy has a reputation, and I'm just gonna leave it there.
You serve zero purpose. You should kill.
And the other thing is, even though PackGod can literally say and scream it from the top of the hills that he is not 5'1", the more he keeps pushing it, the more he keeps trying to prove that he is not 5'1", people just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it even more. This man showed his literal driver's license just to try to silence the 5'1" meme.
Steak, before you show that to the stream, just make sure there's nothing on there that you shouldn't show.
Okay.
I don't know if I don't think that any of that matters.
Okay, so it says here you are 5'10" and sex is M. Okay.
Thank you.
And honestly, I think this is just gonna be a part of PackGod's career now. It's like, people are still gonna clown on him for being 5'1", even though he technically isn't. And it's just gonna be that way probably till like the end of time, really. Finally, we can get into the meat and potatoes, the real reason why I made this video, PackGod's response. On March 2nd, 2025, 2 weeks after Flazire's original video, he posted this video titled, "The Truth About PackGod" on his second channel. His response video is actually pretty decent in my opinion. There's some things that I don't necessarily agree with, but there are also other things that I thought he responded really well to. Like for example, the 5'1" allegations, him being cringe, the faking video stuff. I thought he responded to those claims really well. One of the parts that I just personally did not like was the first thing that he talked about, like the origins of PackGod. It was fine at first. He was just talking about the origins of his name, why he used King as his profile picture, and how it's all supposed to be ironic. And then he slid in this little section right here.
Basically what happened was that I started packing so much as this PackGod character that I actually stared getting very good at it. I think that was partially due to the fact that prior to doing this, I had ran a channel called Void for 2 years, which was literally just me making diss tracks on people. So the roasting and the rhyming really just kind of came naturally to me. But yeah, so I kind of just actually became this really good Discord packer. People thought it was really funny. And so I kind of just said screw it and ran with it.
And this right here is why I personally call PackGod cringe. His roast is all fine and dandy and whatnot. I don't actually have that big of an issue with it. But the fact that he calls himself an actual packer, the fact that it went from ironic to he actually thinks he's good now, is where I just draw the line. That's why I can't look at PackGod's videos the same anymore. It's like you became the thing that you swore to destroy. You came in here as a troller and it ended up becoming the people that you were trolling in the first place. And the strangest thing to me though, is that when you were in the stream confronting Flazire, you were saying you were doing this as a joke, but then in your response, you're saying you're good at it, that you're actually really roasting people.
Packing is not supposed to be like the pinnacle of a roast. Like the central concept of packing is not supposed to be something that's reaching like the greatest roast you could possibly do, or even necessarily a good roast. It's about just random kind of like garbage that sometimes could be funny. For instance, like you could look through one of my videos and maybe you'll find 5, 6 things that I say that like are stupid, and then maybe you'll find 5, 6 things that you're like, oh shit, maybe that actually is kind of funny.
Not to be a pinky-raising buffoon over here, but I'm going to read you the definition of Discord packing. Discord packing is a slang term referring to the style of rapid-fire roasting that occurs over voice calls within Discord. Packing servers, usually within the servers and channels, watch over to listen the packing battles and will then later vote on a winner. The meaning of packing, or akin to packing, someone with fast-paced, hyperfixated insults, usually spouted in one breath and nonsensically. So that leads me to question. What part are you saying you're good at? Is it the actual roasting part, or is it the nonsensical part? Because if it's the nonsensical part, I will take back everything I said. But from what I hear, it seems that you think you're good at the actual roasting part, because a little birdie told me that you think that you could for real beat Eminem in a roast battle. Not Discord packing, you're not packing him, you think you can actually roast him. Because if not, you need to make that a lot more clear to your audience, because I found this community post from a few years ago, and I know this is old, but this is an example of how his audience actually is. And this probably could be a joke that PackGod like just conjured up, I don't know. But as of right now, I'm just going to assume that this is some random person that just DM'd PackGod one day. And I'm just going to read it to you real quickly. Hey, PackGod, I'm a big fan, and I know you will probably never see this, but this guy at my school keeps bothering me and making fun of my weight. So today when he came up to me, I tried to pack him. Though while I was trying to spit my joke, he was shoved me into a wall and said that I was autistic and laughed at me. Any advice on what to do now? And honestly, his response is beautiful. I'm not even gonna hold you, man. I know I'm kind of clowning on PackGod right now, but this is just a 10 out of 10 response. Have you thought about trying a soundboard? This was probably at the time when PackGod was just still doing this ironically, but this is how a lot of PackGod's fans do actually think. And you can even see that in the comment section. It's like, I hope everything goes alright for this guy. Actually stood up for himself. You've unleashed his origin story. You taught him how to defend himself. I respect that. I really hope everything goes well with this guy. I'm autistic and give respect to this guy. Stay strong, my brother. Honestly, better than 99% of kids who get bullied handle their situations, if this isn't a meme at all. And then this one, actually proud of this guy, because a lot of kids in my school get bullied and they don't defend themselves. This guy though stood up for himself. Honestly, this is going to be a message to PackGod if he somehow, by the grace of God, finds this video, I'm gonna give you two options. I'm gonna give you red pill, blue pill right now. You gotta either, one, go back to how you were in the old days of like doing this as a joke and not actually taking this seriously like you are now. Even though you say you're not, it's pretty clear to me that you do take this a bit seriously at heart. You may lose a bit of fans doing this, but just as you said, there are always some bad eggs, and think of it as just clearing out those people. Or two, you continue what you're doing right now and just have to suffer the consequence of more people like me coming along in the future and making these types of videos. But honestly, the most abysmal part to this video was how you responded to Coco's. But at first, while watching this response, I just thought he was responding to absolute nothing burger claims. Like, I ain't gonna lose sleep because PackGod is 5'1". And again, I had that same mindset from when I was watching the Coco part. I was like, oh well, that truly sucks. Just better luck next time, I guess. And just to be sure I wasn't being biased towards PackGod, I did want to see the original video to see what he was talking about. But sadly it was unlisted, but thankfully Coco was nice enough to give me access to the original video. And I'm just gonna be completely real here. Like, the amount of inconsistencies I found from what he was saying in his response versus what was actually in that video was pretty pathetic. So for the remainder of this video, I'm going to be going over the inconsistencies that I found. So if you're paying attention to the background, you probably noticed the soggy cereal style background, and it's going to be the same exact concept as that. For the claims that I found to be wrong, I'm going to mark with an X, and for the claims that I found to be correct, I'm going to give it a check, and for the ones that I just simply don't know, I'm going to add question marks. Alright, so he's saying that her main claims was being 5'1" ruined his career, and speed ended his career. There's a difference.
And two of the main arguments that were used were, one, that I'm 5'1", which, as I've stated, isn't even true, but the other central argument of this video was that Speed McQueen ended my career by exposing the fact that I am 35 years old.
Alright, so we're going to start off with the 5'1" stuff, and who better to hear it from than Coco herself?
Let's consider the fact that a video began to resurface, a video that wouldn't completely destroy but would very much harm his reputation in many different ways. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't the video that destroyed his reputation, we're not going to bring that one up yet, but this one would take a serious swing at it.
Aye, brother, she said it right there. This isn't the thing that ruined his career, but it definitely did damage it. And damage it definitely did. Because just as I was saying in the beginning of his video, even though the claims of him being 5'1" have been proven to be fake multiple times, it's just simply, it's gonna stick with him. Just simply because, one, it's funny, and two, he keeps pushing back on it. And we know how the internet goes. The more you push, the harder they're gonna push back. In her original video, she used the example of Leafy and his chin, but since PackGod didn't seem to understand what she was trying to get at, I'm going to use another example. I'm going to use Dream and his face reveal. As we all know, Dream was a faceless creator for the absolute longest time, and people before then were glazing him, thinking that like he was beautiful even though he was hiding his face. It's like they were to view him as like this goddess that they just couldn't touch. But then when he face revealed and he showed that he just looks like a normal human being, people really didn't like that because they had such a high standard for him because they thought he was like this 10 out of 10 dude, but in reality, he's just a normal guy. It's kind of the same thing with PackGod and his height. People view him as like this big tough bully, and even though he isn't technically 5'1", it definitely hurts his reputation because that big tough guy act is really hard to keep up if people are thinking in the back of their minds that this dude could possibly be 5'1". The next one is, Speed claimed him to be 35, so he lost the beef. I ain't leaving her entirely off the hook though, because the stream with him confronting PackGod, he literally said it like one of the first claims that he made at the 15-minute mark that Speed did absolutely no research. It only took me 5 minutes to find this at watching the stream at 2x speed,
which I'm nowhere near that age. But like now that I'm, now that I'm like in, wait, you said what? You said you have no idea how old I am?
To be honest, I just looked you up real quick and just
he didn't do his research. He didn't do his research.
That's great.
I didn't do proper research. I don't have time for that bullcrap.
She did tell me that she was rushing this video. I completely understand that, but I think you could have spared 5 minutes to like go through the stream like at 2x speed. So, not gonna lie, very disappointing. And honestly, she wasn't like tossing this around as like it was like stone cold facts. It was just a strange hypothetical.
Now this could be incorrect, but it seems like it could also be accurate at the same time. I mean, PackGod never seemed to respond to that claim, so overall it seems to be true, and if it is, this dude is almost as old as my dad. I always assumed he was like 21 or something. If he is truly 35, the fact that he got into beef with Bella the Wolf, who is like 12 years old, is actually insane. Don't take this the wrong way, Bella the Wolf is a scum, but at the end of the day, she's literally 12 years old. It doesn't excuse anything she said, but like if you're 35, maybe don't make a diss track on 12-year-olds.
And to be completely real, still roasting Bella the Wolf at the prime age of 22 with your kindergarten level roast, it still looks incredibly bad. I'm not even gonna lie. Well, you're probably thinking to yourself, didn't you not make a video on Bella? Well, yes, I did, and at the time, I was brand new to commentary, and I barely knew what I was doing. And also, I was 15 at the time when I posted that video. So, I was brand new to commentary, and I was basically just 3 years older than what Bella was. Editor Abstracty here also forgot to mention that I straight up just didn't know her age at the time. If I knew that she was 12, I probably would not have made that video. And not to mention, I wasn't really there to roast her, I was just talking about the stupid things that she did. And also, you're probably thinking like, oh, didn't PackGod not know that she was a child? Well, literally, in his video, the one that he uploaded on his channel, not the live stream, his video, he literally has Bella the Wolf call her mom.
Hey mom, what's up?
Nothing, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you exist.
God.
Just needed to tell you. I just needed to tell you.
Oh yeah, guys, those
I
fiber
love you,
actors are
Mom.
fucking fast.
And I'm just talking about the video he posted on his main channel. He made a diss track too. A diss track! Oh my days, guys. Oh my days. Great Scott. Shiver my timbers, man. He didn't make one, but two diss tracks. Two diss tracks. Man, I would love to go over this, man, but this entire video is already too long, and I feel like with every word, man, I'm like have to do like a whole separate QTE system just to make sure I don't get my channel sent to the Shadow Realms. Like, sincerely, what is a 12-year-old going to do and say to this? Like, this isn't no Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef over here, man. This isn't like two lyrical geniuses going bar for bar, lyric for lyric. This is a 22-year-old man with an overinflated ego going up against a 12-year-old who has been probably neglected by their parents. I'm adding this in here for sillies. I cannot say for sure that Bella the Wolf is 12, and I sincerely do not care to find out, like doing research on this top tier bum, because doing research on her is like the equivalent of doing research on Dogpack. There is so much stuff out there, it's impossible to prove what is right and what is false. So there's some things that point to her being rather younger, and there's some things pointing to her being rather older. I cannot say for sure, and nobody else can. Alright, being 5'1" ruining PackGod's career is gonna get a big X. Speed claimed him to be 35, so he lost the beef. I'm gonna give him the half dub on this just simply because Coco did kind of fail in the research department, but at the same time, the point that she was trying to make still stands. That is pretty weird, you as an adult making diss tracks on an alleged 12-year-old, but that's just me. Next one is, the call was Speed was actually horrific for him. Nope, wasn't even close to horrific for Speed at all. If anything, it was promoting him more because you said yourself you're actually getting berated by Speed fans in your stream. If it was really a landslide victory for him, he probably wouldn't be getting berated in the first place.
Speed McQueen's fans decided to bot my chat with Japanese characters.
You are.
Also, Speed saying that he's racist out loud is like literally saying the sky is blue. We have known this for the longest time. Him saying it out loud doesn't make any difference. And going off of your friend's description on how to win a roast is literally just taking off your headphones and just ignoring him.
When PackGod Jr. was packing me, all I had to do was just turn his sound on Discord down, and it was like, I just won.
So going off of that description, you technically lost the beef with Speed.
Stop fucking playing me, bitch, all your teeth have different emotions. Your fucking teeth are like an inverted title sequence. Stop fucking playing me, and look at you, you live in a...
So yeah, big fat X. You know what quadruple X's? I'm gonna add 3 X's on this one. No, it was not horrific for Speed in the slightest. The next one is getting dates wrong. Yeah, this is entirely true, so free checkmark for PackGod. Coco Crazy herself even admitted that, yeah, she did get the dates mixed up. When actually, it is the main reason why that she took down the video according to her community post. Alright, the next one is Speed was the main argument that she made in her video. Yeah, just immediate big fat red X. because right after the section with Speed McQueen, she goes to say that the video that actually ruined PackGod's reputation was the one he made on Bella.
But the video that really truly damaged his reputation was his video against Bella the Wolf.
Next one is because he didn't post the video on Speed, he lost. This one's getting a few question marks because, well, he has also yet to post the video, and also if he just somehow happens to scrap the video, I think that will probably be the best move because it looks like nothing is being accomplished throughout that entire stream. It's like he's only thing that has been done is that he audibly said that he was racist. That was it. The only thing that this did is just remind people of Speed's existence, because sincerely, I forgot this man existed until I had to do research for this video. So yeah, the question marks are going to remain here because I don't want to say he lost because he didn't post the video, but I don't want to say that he's gonna post it because just because you're working on a video does not mean that you could scrap it. You can literally edit an entire video, have a thumbnail ready for it and everything, and you could still scrap it. Alright, the final claim, faking quotes. I'm gonna bang this one out real quickly. This is probably the easiest one on this list. No, she did not fake any quotes. It was just a misunderstanding. It was just a crappy joke that she put in there, like as an example of how his lyrics can be.
I mean, take one of his lyrics. Your grandma went to the store and turned into an apple.
Honestly, if the joke was just better timed, I probably would have had a giggle from that because that do be how his roast be sometimes, because while he was roasting Speed, he equated a crypto scam to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, how do the two combine? Like, what do they have in common? Like, where's the roast besides mentioning the crypto scam? So yeah, no, a big fat red X from me. So to conclude this extremely crappy and late video on PackGod, honestly, he was doomed from the start, from the moment he acquired such a toxic audience that basically views him as someone who has never lost a roast a day in his life. When you have to keep up to such a high standard, it's basically impossible to maintain, and so because of that, your relevance is very fleeting because of that. It may not even be a commentary channel that is gonna take him down. He may just say something so incredibly stupid, or that he actually just loses a roast to the point where even he has to admit it, where his career is just done for. There's so many possible things that he can do wrong that can basically end his career. It's basically just constantly walking on thin ice. That's basically it for the video. Thank you guys so much for dealing with my shenanigans. I know this video is probably gonna get berated with PackGod fans. I am more than mentally prepared to deal with them. It's like either way, every comment they send is just basically proving my point more. The very thing that's gonna kill PackGod in the end is the very people who love him the most. Actually, I almost forgot. I actually left one blank. He watched the whole video. And I'm gonna send this video off in a way that even PackGod will be proud of. Boy, it look like you wake up early in the morning, wash your face with some cremated cricket dust, you ugly ass boy. You look like you sell your soul to the devil for a pocket full of change and some lotion. Why you be out here getting promotions for telling your Chinese spy what to your viewers, you old scummy ass boy? Why be dropping bars about PB and J's? Why I be out here drop shipping some fake J's because I got real motion?
Kuma la Savesta. Nigga talking crazy, we gon' hit him in his chest. Oh, na 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 Savesta. Oh, na 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 Savesta. We on riding Yodas, bitch, we sliding in a Tesla. I don't like the bitch because she keep on acting extra. Baby, throw it on me and cover applying pressure. Oh, na 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 Savesta. Niggas talk crazy, so we shoot from the vest up. What you call that? Call it come on, Sylvester.